Good morning. Got in just a little bit early and to make sure that I got my stuff all set up. I'm learning technology and live streaming, especially if I'm moving. So let's see. I can't see the chat. Bear with me. How do I see the chat? Da, 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 da. Hmm. Well, I don't know if I can see the chat, but huh. Well, da, 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 da. Yeah, so I don't know if I can see the chat this morning. Where is it? Highlights, you save channels. Retouch on. Good morning there. Oh, the chat just shows up at the bottom. Okay. Oh man. Mayor Ohio. Good morning. Good morning. I took some notes this morning because I'm in my emotions this morning. Good morning to you and whoever may be watching this on Rewind. Um, I get up in the morning and it'd be 100 miles an hour in my head, whether I'm out of the bed or not. And music is my thing. I have been working on my shower, which is a whole side conversation. I'm trying to be a plant lady. Plants just for the sake of plants. You can't eat them or make medicine out of them. And I've been rocking pretty hard with Cleo Soul, soul like the sun, or the Spanish word for sun. And sometimes I just play music till something really hits me. And sometimes when it hits me, I put it on repeat. And there's been several songs of hers recently that I've really enjoyed. And I had the channel on that played her. And the song came on this morning and it was called Build Me Up. A lot of her music resonates for me. I enjoy it a lot. And this one played, and I listened to it once, and I said, I need to go back and listen to that again. And I put it on repeat. And I had posted yesterday and about my mother and my grandmother passing away, and just the legacy. Some of the comments that brought up some of the funny things with people that know them, people that grew up in some of the same churches or in the same circles as my family did. And it's so much joy. They were brilliant Black women, leaders in the community, leaders in their profession. They gave a lot, but they also were a product of society, and there was a hurt in them that both of them took to the grave. And that's the bittersweet part. We get the family we get. Nobody asked me if I wanted the parents I got. But I began listening to this song, and it really is some of the why, but it's also really a reflection of my life experience. And maybe that's the music that really connects with me. It's stuff that makes sense to me and makes sense to my life. I grew up in the Christian paradigm. My family was Seventh Day Adventists, and it's a lots of quirky kind of things in that faith system. I think I've expanded my spirituality. But this morning, as I was listening to that song, I went and looked up a verse in the Bible on my computer. It was ringing in my head when she was saying this. And there's a verse in the Psalms, these poetic, you know, poems. And there's a part that says, He leads me beside quiet waters or still waters. He restores my soul. It's talking about the metaphor of a shepherd. I'm a farmer, you know, to know that the person responsible for these livestock, these animals, leads them down to where there's quiet water, down to the river, where they can refresh themselves, they can restore their soul. And I got real teary about that. The official name of the center here is the International Welcome Center at the Tomibamba River. I did a recent video and someone said the place is magical. And I said, I know. There's an energy about the four rivers that come together in these mountains and converge into the Tomibamba River that runs right in front of my house. It runs down to the Amazon and then out to the Atlantic, because Ecuador goes from the Pacific, but the waters flow all the way to the Atlantic on the other side of the continent. And I thought, that's my healing journey. You know, that spiritual piece was go to the place with the least resistance for healing. And healing in this chapter for me takes on a whole lot of physical parts, the damage I've done to my body and the physical healing. And being here at the river and recognizing this is restoring my soul. You know, it's what do you share? You share your overflow. I share the peace and the calm that has come because of the time and the space to do the work of healing. And mornings is all of that. And I swirled all of that together this morning as I was inspecting the plants in my shower, because that's a whole new project. And it just hit me that I can literally walk beside the still waters of the Tomibamba River. Flows just a few minutes away, just a few steps away from my door. And that's not just poetic, that's maybe prophetic for me, because the river isn't just the water, it's really about restoration. And my healing journey really has brought me beside these still waters, not just to rest, but to restore. And it's how deep my soul, all the way to my soul, not to escape, but really be reminded of who I am, that there's purpose to my life. That means I wake up with worthiness, regardless of what it looks on the surface on any given day. And it's not forced. It flows easy, easy like Sunday morning. And this has really become a metaphor for my soul, that deep flowing. Sometimes it runs fast. We're getting lots of rain. That water is running fast. And sometimes it's calm and still as it runs down and trickles down the pebbles and the stones and the boulders. But it's always moving. It's always cleansing. And really resting in that. And as I listened to the lyrics of her song, it was saying, build me up. If I can be free, this is some of the lyrics. I know it's easier to run, but is that fair for me? Could it be that you just got stuck in someone else's dream? You tried so hard to fight the rain that you missed the sea. And then she resolves and says, I'd rather be emotional than hurt inside. And that's why I cry. Do you ever look at yourself and see the truth in your eyes? Is it hard for you to do that? Is it hard for you to say, build me up? She says, I'm not what you want me to be, perhaps. I was raised under a roof of unfinished dreams. How to love, how to trust without a fight. And then finally learning how to live my own life, because I'd rather be emotional than hurt inside. And this morning I kind of got teary because she says, I cry so that this stuff doesn't stay inside, the hurt. As I was reflecting this morning, so much hurt in my mom and my grandma. With all the brilliance that they gave, their souls weren't at peace. And I know for me, I'm passionate about this because I've lived those lives. Years where life only seemed like hurt. And the truth is, it wasn't a lie. That's the truth. Life be lifing, where stuff happens to you. It ain't your fault, but people, we got issues and we damage each other. And I realized for me, it was saying, I can't let this stuff be in me. I can't let it eat the core of me, so that in my private time, I'm feeling nothing but pain and hurt. And I don't want nobody to see it because I got to look a certain part. And she's saying, I'm so sorry that I'm not living up to your dreams. But I was raised by folks whose dreams never were fulfilled. And I think my grandmother lived in a time where you don't think you can fulfill those dreams. It's the sadness, it's the bittersweetness for me. I love Maya Angelou. Her writing, her work is passionate. But she's my grandmother that thinks that you have to stay in the cage. Yes, you can sing, but you're in the cage. Not realizing that for our generation, we have the opportunity to reach through the bars in the cage, open the cage, and get out and fly freer than they could see. They did their best. They did their absolute best, and sometimes with very little. But I thought as I was getting up this morning, why are you getting up? You could be doing a whole lot of thinking this morning, but you're on this, figured out this technology to do this YouTube, and it was saying, I've been to the place where it was hard to say, build me up. She goes on and says, is it hard for you to say, build me up? Please love me. Can you be selfless? Am I invisible? And this space really is about saying, for those that are committed to doing the work, to saying, I don't want to keep holding this stuff. Life is good. There's a whole lot about life that's good. It's working for me. But in those times where I'm in the stillness of my life, there's some baggage that's heavy, and I want to let it go. And I thought, this is one of those ways that I can support that. Some of the steps I want to talk about briefly, talk about identification. And I want to talk more about that because I can identify with holding baggage, holding anger. Saying, did I ever get time to just be angry? Because some stuff should make you angry when your heart unthaws. And so this morning, just grateful for being at a place in my life to be able to hold space so that we collectively can say, here's a space where each of us gets to say, build me up. If it's nothing but the silent support of knowing someone else is doing some healing work too, digging to those places that may feel uncomfortable, they may be scary. And she says at the end, love is in the sunshine. Every day, sun comes up. You may not be able to see it, but the sun comes up. Love is in the sunshine. It's opening up ourselves so that the love of support, that's why it's healed together. That love of people saying, I'm here to support you. I may not know you, I may not see you, but I'm here to support you doing something that's really, really good for you. And that's healing. And so each one of us gets to practice selflessness in holding space, in saying, I'm holding space for you. The community works with healthy give and take because the others are saying, and I'm holding space for you too. And so hopefully this time together, as much time as you can join in with us, is that holding of space that lets us both receive and give to each other in way of support. And on that segue, to give you just a few minutes of some instruction and guidance, some of the questions that were towards the tail end of yesterday's was about the values. Sometimes when we're thinking about values, I tell people to think of the I shoulds. What should have happened? Like, what should have happened? I should receive love and support from my mother. I should receive affection from my mother. My mother should say, I love you. Those are sometimes the way we frame values. What's the value? That's a good way of stating it sometimes. The value is mothers should show physical, tangible love to their children. I may frame it from the standpoint of what should have happened for me or in the situation that I'm talking about. But values can also come from things like our principles. I was fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of a creator. That may or may not be your value, but that's how it might be framed, where it comes from, maybe outside of yourself. But the shoulds, your expectations, what should have happened. I should speak to people in a respectful way. I cussed her out. I also lived out, I should be able to say whatever I want to whoever I want to. Both of those are values that might have been in play in that situation. Might not have been living them, but I believed it. I believe people should be treated with respect. So that is a part of shaping the values. And then at the end of chapter 1, and I want to just circle back because that's an important piece of this. There's a whole section in the book that talks about the Sankofa or the healing circles, because part of this is the reincorporation. And I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking about it. That's why you guys got the book to give a more detailed explanation. But part of it is at the end of each step, one, having a healing support person. Who's your healing support network? If you don't have one, maybe this is a form where you can find someone and digitally be that healing support network to each other. But it's about doing the reading and identification. It's reading the story, and identification is not sympathy. Identification is, I heard your story. I heard your feelings, the feelings that you shared. You read them from your journal entry. And I can relate to that because I remember that from my life. I may not remember your situation or have a situation that parallels that, but I've been angry before. Let me think through my Rolodex of experiences. Can you remember some time, Lorana, where you have been angry with someone? Yep. I don't have to understand their situation at all. And in this healing circle, it's not about me doing healing for anybody else. It's about centering me in that moment, in that space. Identification says you've had an experience. And if I maybe had a similar experience, I'm going to go to my experience. What did I feel in my experience? It has nothing to do with what you felt, but it might be similar. Identification is you taking time to come to your life experience because you can feel that and say, man, I remember a time where somebody did me like that. Let me go to see what I felt. Part of this also is about being able to say, we're in this together. I have felt angry. The loop on that says, and if I go to the place where I was when I was angry and in my own situation that's different from yours, man, I know what that feels like. It's a token way of being able to see where they are. And part of that says, this keeps us from getting judgmental and staying in that space of compassion. I've been in some situations where I'm angry and I went off the chain. You're talking about a situation that made you angry and you did some things and went off the chain in a different direction. I wouldn't have done that. Yes, you would have. Did you go to your place? Ooh, when I was angry, this is what I did that was kind of dysfunctional or downright foul. Keeps us in that place, but it also is that point of connection. Reading and speaking your truth is practice for real life. So I don't want you to miss that piece in it. If you don't have someone, this is about relationship building. What do you need to be able to heal as quickly, as fast, as deeply as possible? Community, people that are supporting what you're doing. And so I encourage that this morning. I encourage you to find someone to connect with. And so we talked about step 1, step 2. Step 3 is really a restating and a feeling opportunity. Step 3 has you go and look at those losses from step 2. What did I lose? What did this situation cost me in real life currency? Not dollars and cents, but it works the same way and probably has more value. What did I do? What did I lose? And it's an opportunity for you to sit and really do some deep reflection. What did this cost me? When I'm getting honest with myself, what did this cost me? Not a whole lot of work, but that reflection time. And then if any other emotions, you should have gone online and gotten you a feeling list or a feeling wheel. Go through that thing. Any other emotions that this triggers for me, because we're talking about getting the weeds out. And any tentacle of those roots that's still left behind, it's just a layer to come back to later. If you can get to that layer now, get it out. What else were you feeling? Unravel that. Because as we begin to put words to it now, we can take and be able to fully heal and release from that. So I'm encouraging you to take the time. It seems like a real simple step, but this is where really the doing the work part is. Hold space for those feelings. Identify them so that we can unweave them from our lives and be able to make some connections with how those things are still impacting our life. So other things I wanted to say, feel free. Don't just stop at the steps we're doing. You can do one moment and go all the way through the cycles, or you can do several and be at varying cycles of each one. That's why the journal and the worksheets kind of give you a place to stop and start. Some things begin to unearth something. As you're dealing with one thing, something else will come up. Let me go put a new title. That's a whole a new situation that I hadn't thought about. And sometimes you feel called to move to something else. Let me go address this issue. This has come up. I feel like I really should address this. And so you don't have to be on the same step with every one of them. And so that worksheet lets you, the journal in the back of the book, or if you're printing them out, you may want to have several of them so that as things come up, as one layer gets removed or even just moved a jar, something else may have the opportunity to come up. Which things you deal with is your business, your business. I hope you're reading each chapter as you're doing the steps, and I'll see if there's any questions, and if there's questions, any of our mornings, reach out. There's some really good videos. I saw Jackie Moser come in and we walked through the steps and did some really short videos. There's a playlist of those where you can just, if you're on one step, it's just about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes ish of information about that specific step. So that playlist might be a good friend of yours. It's also, you can find it through the, through the, go on YouTube. On the website, No Wasted Time, there's the links to the playlist of other training videos. If you want to have a more detailed training session that goes step by step and takes you through the process, be sure and check there. They're free. Yeah. All right. So who this morning? I feel like Miss Nancy with my magic mirror. Good morning, Mayor Ohio and Santa. Oh, thank you. Such kind words. Good morning, Kimberly. Bill, round and round and round. I have no idea what that means. It was probably something about something I was talking about. Sound like the hamster wheel. That's probably it. I'm going to say that it is. He restores my soul. Yeah. By the river where the waters flow. Good morning, Sherilyn. The Wisdom Connection. Good morning. Francesca Fox. Good morning. Wise Hearts Garden. I think that's Wida. Good morning. Blessed love. Happy Wednesday. Happy Mercury Day. Jackie. Hello. Good day. Good morning. Sarah B. Peace and blessings. Any questions today? Any questions? Any questions? How are you doing? Any feelings? You all got some feeling words? How are you feeling? What's moving into this process doing for you kind of on the inside? Who's making progress? Who's gotten beyond step one? Who started step one? Give me your progress reports if you got any. How are you feeling this morning? Use your feeling words. Use your big girl or big guy words this morning. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mayor Ohio. Doing my best with this technology. I'm feeling good this morning. Latisse, good morning, Latisse. I hope you guys have your book. If you don't have the book yet, nowastedtime.com. You can get a digital copy. It'll be on instant download. If you haven't actually signed up for the challenge, go online, because in case there's links or information that I may send you, you'll be in the email group thing. I realized last night it's too hard. If you bought the book, I get your emails, but I don't know if you've signed. It's too hard, and I got duplicate lists, so go to the website and sign up. There's just a Google form that puts you in the database, so when I send emails or links or anything I might send, I don't really know. I don't have no plan to send anything, but I might. Then you'll be in that email list. So it's nowastedtime.com. Look for the thing that says the 30-day challenge and just sign up. It's not going to ask you for no money or anything like that. Also, the calendar, if you want a calendar thing, it'll be there. I think that's it. Any questions, any feedback? Come on, you guys. Anybody else got anything to say? Any updates? Any progress reports? I've had my cry for the morning. I feel good about that. Cleo Soul, y'all check her out. Let's see. Thank you for creating this sacred space to heal. I need to get my eyes checked, y'all. These Dollar Tree readers may not be giving me all the life I need out of my eyes. My name, yeah, okay, let's see. Feeling inspired, yes. Okay, that's a good feeling word. Inspired. Let's see. Feeling whelmed. I don't know if that's overwhelmed or underwhelmed. Not over, not under. Whelmed. Okay, you got that feel. I feel some kind of way. Okay. Let's see. I missed yesterday. I should start chapter 1, part 4 of the book. You can read parts 1, 2, and 3. It's real good information, but you want to start on part 4 of the book. Use your table of contents, the section right before 16. Yes. Buenos días. Let's see. Feeling inspired, feeling whelmed. I like that. Whelmed. Feeling whelmed. Okay. Changing internet. The first 30 minutes, you can just go to that, and any conversation will always be in that for any morning. If you want to use the whole 2 hour span to be able to just, give yourself some dedicated time, if you're doing this at a different time of day, feel free to do that. Any other feelings? How are you guys feeling with just the thought of kind of stirring up stuff in your life, in your healing journey? All right, well, we're glad that you're here today. Feel free during the time that the live is up to ask any questions and clarity on the steps. If you want to get, just questions, just whatever may come up for you. And thank you all for coming and being in this space together. And again, providing that support, but also being able to say, this is a space where we each get to say, build me up. And hopefully, it gets easier and easier to do that, like in life, to say I need focus, I need dedicated focus. And so I applaud each of you for investing in you. Healing is one of those gifts that it is a gift to everyone that comes in contact with you, but first and foremost, it's a gift you give to yourself to free yourself from holding those boulders in your life. I'm going to go on silent, but I'll be here with you um, until 8 o'clock my time. So feel free to reach out as you need to. If there's feelings that come up for you, put them in the chat. Let us know how this experience is working with you. Chapters 16 through 22 are where your instructions are. If you have a print copy of the book, there was the yapas with a journal for you to be able to do 30 healing cycles in the back of the book. Hopeful, empowered, being built up. Yeah, yeah. It's, I wish you a great day. If I have any thoughts, I'll put it in the chat throughout this time. But we're here to heal together. And thank you for your investment in yourself. And that is changing the world. You guys have a great day. I'm going on mute. Apprehensive. That sounds honest. Unwounded. Yeah. Anger. sadness. Comforted, supported, divinely aligned, understood, blessed, connected, grateful. And I'll just call these words out as they come into the chat as an opportunity to identify when's the time that you have felt comforted, supported, divinely aligned, understood, blessed, connected, or grateful. wanting to feel peace and freedom. Thumbs up. I encourage the feeling wheel, Mayor Ohio, or feeling word list. Part of this process, if you just trust the process, helps us build emotional intelligence. And that's the ability to communicate what we're feeling and thinking to someone that's outside of our head. And so, this process, how deep do you go? It's up to you. Dig deep, dig deep. Go through those lists and see if any of those feelings are tied to what your experience was about. Learn to speak those words out loud. If you have questions on any of the steps, please feel free to put those in the chat. Okay, losses. Now, this is the part that's going to be subjective, but let me try to give you some examples. Um, let's see if I can think of an example. Um, Maybe you got into an argument with your child. It's speculative. Um, and maybe it was a situation where I lost trust. Um, Maybe I lost feeling good for the evening. Maybe I lost going to sleep with my mind at peace. Maybe I lost a friendship. Um, Maybe I lost my wallet. Somebody stole my wallet. I lost my wallet. I lost my credit cards. Um, I lost feeling safe. I lost feeling supported. Those are real losses, even if it's not a tangible loss. Ask me another question if that didn't give you a little bit better understanding of what we're talking about in losses. Have a great day, Kimberly. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. You told me what your name was, the Wisdom Connection. It started with an L. Let me see if I can find it. Latisse. Have a good day, Latisse. Thanks for joining us. Francesca, thanks for joining us. My pleasure. Have a great day, Sarah. Thanks for joining us. Mayor Ohio, thank you for joining us this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good progress and stillness, yes. Thank you all for joining us today. I look forward to healing with you again tomorrow. Um, if you have questions, feel free to just reach out. If there's questions about the steps, feel free to go to some of the video guides. There's a playlist that goes through the steps one step at a time. So if you have questions about a specific step, you can go right to that video. One of the playlists in my YouTube. But if you can't find it, message me. Feel free to message me on Facebook or Instagram, or put a message on the chat here, and I should be able to see it or get an alert and be able to respond. If not, we'll respond in the morning and provide clarity as you need it. Thanks again for committing to this time and for joining us and taking the time to prioritize yourself and your healing. See you tomorrow. Bye.